Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your daily podcast with an important message from Total Spot Fest. AEW was amazing. We got great news and all sorts of just nerding out on what Dynamite was. This is Total Spot Fest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome back to Total Spot Fest. I am JJ Brownlee. He is Jamie Faulkner. We are amped up because we just got done watching live wrestling with a full audience, and my God, it was good. It was so good.
Yes.
So
yes.
we welcome you. We hope everybody's having a wonderful day because we are just marking out right now. So this is Total Spot Fest. It is our AEW weekly chat. We're also going to talk about Tuesday night's NXT Great American Bash because, spoiler, it was freaking amazing too.
Yes.
I mean, Jamie, what a rebound of wrestling we have here. This week has been just woo.
The two best products from the two biggest giants. Like, that's what it was, and they both delivered.
They're doing stuff. So thank you guys for joining us. We do appreciate, like I always say, like I love you guys watching us or listening into us. If you want to get in the conversation, as always, just hit us up with a comment down below on YouTube, or you can hit us up on Twitter. That's at Total Spot Fest. We're gonna plow right into it. So I don't want to beat around the bush, Jamie. Why don't we just start with AEW tonight? Just get right to the meat of the matter.
Yeah, I think we should, but first, before we start, all I have to say is I called it on a lot of things.
Mr. Predictor over here. He is our very own wrestling Nostradamus. You could call him Mark Stradamus.
Mark Stradamus. Ooh, I like it. I like
That's
it.
what I was. I told you I had something nice for you. I was
That's
like,
solid.
I'm gonna save
That's
that.
solid.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
You're hey, for what it's worth, you could do creative, and you're good at calling stuff out. But
Mark Stradamus, the Mark Messiah.
the Mark Messiah. Wow, we're getting pretty big now. And I got to drive with you all the way to Chicago for All Out. Oh my God!
I know.
Spoiler alert: we just decided about half hour ago we're buying tickets today for All Out. So yeah, that's coming.
Again, also right before we start, quick shout out to Mrs. Mark Stradamus on a happy 20-year anniversary, babe. Love you. You are in love with a Mark, and I don't understand it, but you are there with me, and I love you for it.
I'm giving a special double, triple clap to Mrs. Faulkner there. It's like, wow, 20 years. Poor you.
20
No,
years.
no, congratulations, indeed. We talk. You know what's odd? We've talked a lot about love here in the past couple of weeks. Because all these wrestlers are getting engaged and married and stuff, and we're like trying to be positive, talking about stop the body shaming, and welcome to Total Spot Fest, where we love people. Hey, it's cool.
It's all about love. This first match isn't all about love.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Okay, so AEW Dynamite.
Road Rager in Miami.
Road Rager, first live show on the road, and I think the show was great without fans, but the fans made it amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It just shows you how much we need fans in the stands for these things because pops were hot, and it was great. So
it very much felt like that. It felt like that release, I, of course, I'm going there because of the giant tattoo on my arm. But like when the Blues finally won a title, or like when the Royals in 15 finally won a title, or when the Cubs finally won the World Series,
or when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
When the Chiefs won the Super Bowl after half a century, it's that. That's the same sort of feeling I got from the fans. They kind of like this exhale of finally, It's what it felt like. So
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to have to go.
So in typical AEW fashion, starts with a match, and actually in typical AEW fashion, in like the first match to start something, it's always Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes was the very first match of AEW. This is the very first match on the road with people after the pandemic. It is the South Beach strap match, which Britt Baker loved. I don't know if you saw that. Like, she straight called out, like, he's got a little BDSM thing going on. We understand that's how Baby Rhodes got here. But anyway, Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson and QT Marshall.
Oh, you got it right. How about that?
With the Factory. It was a good match.
It was a lot better than the bull rope match that Dusty did with Camarado. I mean, for those of you unfamiliar who maybe didn't watch it, you don't win by pinning. This is like the old school Texas bull rope match. Texas bull rope match is different than a bull rope match because you win by touching the four corner, the top turnbuckle on the four corners in succession.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, win. That's how you win.
Yeah. So this match had a lot of good stuff in it. QT was getting some good heat from the fans. I really appreciated that.
That surprised me, to be honest with you. Well, I mean, it was the first.
I was expecting
match,
more X-Pac heat for him, to be honest, just because that's where he lives in my heart. But he was getting like heel heat, and he was eating it up. Cody was doing great. Cody got huge pop, and he was over. There was Cody chants going on. There was a spot where QT spit in Cody's face, towards the end, and then Cody hits Crossroads. Cody wins, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know that, it happens. He hits the four corners.
It was four does.
Cody wins. So great match. Way to start it. It was better than I expected.
Me too. I agree there.
Then probably one of my more fun moments of this was Shawn Spears was talking some trash, and Sammy comes out of nowhere and hits him with a chair. Then he sits on the chair and goes, "Got you, bitch." And I was like, yeah, Sammy getting over again. So then right after this was arguably one of the best moments of the show. I called it. After the break, Tony Schiavone's out there with Mr. Kenny Omega and Don Invisible Hand Callis. Don shoos away Schiavone, which I think is great. He goes, "Go do
go over there, go to the corner and be the
geriatric
Tommy Bahama model you want to be."
Yes, it was so good.
And then he proceeded to get the "You got fired" chance. He got fired as an Impact.
And then he said, and I quote, "Real men don't quit; they get fired." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Don
Which
Callis.
he said on Impact, last week when he was on there. But it's better with the fans, and on AEW.
Yes.
It's so. I love the fact that AEW's fans are astute enough to pull in this continued universe of Impact because sure she ain't watching it on TV. So
they're not watching it, but they're aware, which I appreciate. So of course they keep going into they beat everybody. And then here comes Evil Uno in the Dark Order, and who gets a big pop? Evil Uno gets a big pop. Like I
love that. I'm so happy for that too.
And then when he's out there, he's talking. It's like, you haven't faced everybody. Why are you ignoring him and everything like that? Then you hear cowboy shit. It got deafening.
Dude,
like
Hangman is the most over person I'm gonna say by far. Most of them.
So they're doing the talk, and then Kenny Omega asks Evil Uno, "What's the capital of Thailand?" And then he's like, "Well, I know what it is." And then of course, Omega kicks him in the nuts and goes, "Bangkok, baby!" like that.
Brings it back to the life of the frat house all of a sudden. It's like, he's going to play a game of slap nuts. Yep.
Yep. And then right after that, the Elite come out and start attacking the Dark Order, but then Hangman Page's music hits, baby. Ooh. And he hits, and he's a house on fire, hits a whole bunch of people, he gets Carl Anderson over the top rope. Then here comes Luke Gallows. He clotheslines him over the rope, and he ends up on the other side. And it looks like he's about to do a buckshot lariat on Omega. Omega just turns around, looks at him, and then he gets to the ring. They have the stare down. The crowd was just electric. It's just like, oh my god, yes, we need this in our life. It was just, yes.
It's the fruition. And somebody on Twitter had put up there like a very detailed kind of short form, up to speed, if you would, of the entire history, because we've been talking about it for months now, and it did a great job because it really stems back from the very first AEW show. That's how this is the definition of long-term booking right here, because they've been setting this up since the company started. It's unbelievable. The even with the trends of the Dark Order, and they had to make the swerve, you know, because he was going to be the savior of the Dark Order, take them out of, you know, the Brody Lee's evil ways and all. But they changed direction. I mean, this is great. This is great. Just gave me goosebumps all over. I loved it.
Yeah. Then right after that was another, I thought, great promo session. It was JR interviewing both Darby Allin and Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is very real. This is a very real Raw interview.
Yeah, it felt gritty and felt very personal. They did a hell of a job with it. All ego Ethan Page, like, he keeps just going up the ladder for me. I am a big fan of him. I didn't really know him very well from Impact, to be honest with you. So when he came to AEW, I started watching him. But man, the guy can cut a serious promo. I'm watching his vlog now. Like, that's how dedicated I am to this guy.
Did you know he was in a tag team with Josh Alexander?
Yes, the North, right?
Yeah.
So Ethan Page basically saying Darby Allin owes him everything, and he got him into this business. He's gonna take him out, and you know, it was great.
Right. And they confirmed coffin matches next week. Like, it was, like, we called it out. One of our subscribers is,
Heather.
you know,
Heather the librarian. Thank you. Big shout out to Heather the librarian. Sorry, Heather the librarian. Heather the librarian.
Speaking of librarians, I want to take a side note and just say, if you haven't gone to shopaw.com and looked at Peter Avalon's newest shirt, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's
Yes.
But she called it out. Yeah, he's bad taste, and you said, we confirmed it. Yeah. So they're definitely doing the coffin match next week in Austin. So boom.
Yep.
Next week's, and I read something earlier today, not to get us off topic, but I read something earlier today that AEW is planning on this first, like, group of shows, like through, like, North Carolina at least, you know, up into, like, about the first 5 or 6. They're planning bangers every week. They're like, we're going all out. We're not holding anything back. None of this safe build. We're just gonna go balls to the wall. And when you get to the card, you'll know next week, same as this week. Bang.
Yeah, it's Fighter Fest night 1, and it's
night 1. The night 2's in Dallas 2 weeks, which is
it's just like, hold on to your butts type thing, you know.
Seriously,
it's good. So the second match of the night was FTR and Wardlow of the Pinnacle versus Jake Hager and Santana Ortiz with Conan. All right. Here we go. First prediction of the now Mark Stradamus. Santana Ortiz will be managed by Conan moving forward, and the reformation of LAX is upon us at some point in the very near future. I hope to like God a subset of.
They're still Inner Circle S, but there's kind of insert. I hope to God they bring in Diamante. She needs to get more airtime, in my opinion.
Yes,
and she was. I mean, they were all part of LAX, the 3 of them, in Impact. So yeah, I'm all for it. That'd be great.
So anyway, before we get there, so this match was a little bit shorter than I was expecting, to be honest with you.
If I'm going to be blunt, of all the matches, and they were all great, this is still a good match. This is probably the low match of the night for me.
I agree. The biggest moment of it, again, was when Hager allowed for Wardlow to get tagged in, and the crowd went ape shit. They're like, this is what we want. We want to see these big boys just go at it, and they did. And it was fun. It was a fun match. It was not necessarily a clean match or anything like that. FTR, FTR ended up to get Hager into the big rig 1, 2, 3. They win. So Pinnacle gets the dub. So good match. It was not a great match, but to your point, with everything else that happened on this night, this was the low.
You can't have every match just be a holy shit, oh my god match. I mean, even the best pay-per-views that we've talked about in the past have had a match where you get a palate cleanse. This was that, which is fine.
And the thing was, it was good on any other night.
This is a
great match.
Yeah, this if this is on Raw or SmackDown, this would be like the match of the month, right? Match of the
easily.
year. So
easily.
I mean,
If this was on WWE Network or WWE, sorry, if this is on any of their stuff next week, Pinnacle would break up. That's all I gotta say, because that's how good of a match it was. As soon as they hit,
Or
the
they
top,
or they
break up.
50-50 book this for like a month and a half.
Yeah, fair. Well, after the match, Conan hits Wardlow with a mad ball. Wardlow is unfazed. He no-sells it. Tully Blanchard comes in, chop blocks Conan's knee, and that was that. Then they did a quick little vignette about Jon Moxley defending his IWGP United States Championship against Carl the Machine Gun Anderson, talking about him going back to New Japan. Is actually a very good little thing. I'm looking forward to that match because Carl Anderson's a decent singles guy, but he's definitely much more of a tag team guy.
And it's the return from maternity leave for Moxley too. So it's good. Going to be good to see him back in full swing, without hair too. He joined the Bald Man Club. I appreciate that.
Yes. Also, I forgot to note that the Inner Circle did not come out to Judas. They came out to a new song. I don't know if you caught that. It goes.
They did. It was a different song. I didn't know if it was like new, but I know it was a different song.
It was a different song. I think the reason why is because the next segment had Jericho coming out to said Judas.
Well, I believe they're trying to make a little bit of leeway. I think between Sammy Guevara comes out to his entrance music, and Proud and Powerful when they wrestle by themselves, they have their So I think they're just trying to make that little bit of a different distance. Not saying that Jericho's retiring, but they want to give them their own legs to stand on, aside from just being part of Jericho, right?
Yeah. So the next piece was MJF and Chris Jericho going through the stipulations. And right before that happened is a dumb fan gets out there and gets the shit kicked out of him by everybody. Thought that was great.
It was fantastic.
And then they called it out a couple times.
Yeah.
But this is another one of those I called it moments here because, Mark Stradamus. So Jericho and MJF keep going at it, and Jericho, is like, I'll do anything, I'll wrestle, Sabu,
so
whatever. And he's like, then I'll even sleep with your mother. And then I'm sitting on the couch with the wife, and I go, he's gonna say it again. He's gonna say it again.
Because the crowd was amped, and they were playing into. They loved some Jericho, right? They're chanting Y2J, and he stopped mid promo, said Y2J's died. It died a long time ago. You know. They're going like, oh, sleep with your mother.
Yeah, and then he goes again. And
again.
Like, oh! It's like the secret word on freaking Pee-wee's Playhouse back in the day.
Which this is the part that I love the most too, and because I found this interesting because the last time we heard this chant was in the early 2000s, late 90s. I can't remember, something like that, but it was when Pedro Martinez was in Boston and the whole Boston Yankees, rivalry. The Yankees are my daddy, started the Who's Your Daddy chant. And there's a lot of New Yorkers who now live in Miami, and yes, there was a Who's Your Daddy chant that was just. You could see Jericho trying not to smile in the middle of it. He was
trying to stay. Yeah, it was good. Well, anyway, so the thing I called out was he's gonna have him do some kind of gauntlet match because it inspired. The reason is because Jericho inspired him from the very first time, because when he had Cody go through, the whole team.
Oh, he had Moxley. It was when Jericho had Moxley get a shot at his belt. He had to go through the Inner Circle. Yeah,
so then MJF goes, he's big into Greek mythology, so you have to do the labors of Hercules. You have to face, each team, like all five.
Although he ended up saying though 4 opponents of my choosing, so he insinuated it was the members of the Pinnacle, but he didn't technically say that.
Yeah, so the 5 labors of Hercules, of course he accepted without any hesitation there.
Sure.
And then at the very end, it's like, I'm from Plainview, New York, and we shake hands in order to officially, do a thing. They shake hands, and then Jericho holds on to his hand a little bit long, and then he does a Judas effect on him. And honestly, that's one of the best reactions to a Judas effect, because I don't even think MJF blinked. MJF got hit in the face, and it looked like he was just out and just fell back, and his eyes stayed open the entire time. And he's just laying there like he's like dead. It was absolutely great.
He's so good. So upcoming more stuff with Jericho. That's great.
Yeah, so the 5 labors of Hercules will be upon us at some point. So after that, they go to Britt Baker. She's really upset that Rebel's hurt. Talking about, Tony Khan, she feels terrible. She makes him millions, all for what? And then this is one of the great things.
It was a great dig. This is so good.
Yeah, so Vicky, is bringing Andrade El Idolo. She says, enjoy your blood money. Maybe next week AEW can take place in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm like,
She's
ooh.
so
and everybody was
good.
like, oh, like the entire crowd's like, that was just
And the
sad.
great thing is she can get away with it because her boyfriend is Adam Cole, and there's Adam Cole is no way he's getting punished in WWE at all. So she can say whatever the hell she wants. It's great.
I know. Yeah, so she just doesn't care. After this was the official first match of Andrade El Idolo versus Matt Sydal.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed this match. I thought it had.
This is the first time. When was the last time we? I thought about this. I wanted to ask you. When was the last time we saw Andrade wrestle? Because he was on. He was in catering for at least 7-8 months, right?
Yeah, I think it was about this time last year. Honestly,
Been a full year almost. I wouldn't be surprised. I was trying to think about that. I could not remember because, last several months he has been on the shelf in WWE, and it's good to see him in the ring because God damn it, he's good.
Yeah, so me with moves. This was pretty damn impressive. Mm-hmm. He went up to the top rope to do a moonsault. He landed on his feet because Matt Sydal rolled out of the way. And he immediately went into a standing moonsault on top of Matt Sydal.
Well,
it was like, boom, boom.
That's one of his standard moves.
I know. It's so damn pretty, though.
I know.
I've forgotten it because I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it in so long, right? Yeah, I know. Charlotte tried to do it, which is I appreciate that kind of nod to her fiance. She didn't quite do it quite as well, but he's so good at it. I remember the first time he did that was against. I think it was when he won the NXT title against McIntyre, and it came out of nowhere. I'm like, what did I just see? What was that?
It was so quick and so perfect.
Nobody can do it. Nobody can do that move like this. I've seen a few others try, right? They get close, right? But he is so good. And the double knee run. And
I love the fact that, with his El Idolo, appearance, he's wrestling in suit pants. Like that's what he's wrestling, and I love.
They're not
the whole
real
thing.
suit pants.
Well,
They're kind of like almost, but
but he came out to this badass pinstripe suit with a black shirt, and it had a white tie, and of course he had his
the skull mask.
On,
I love the black
mask.
skull mask. That was awesome.
Yeah, he looked tip top. He hits his he calls it the Idolo, which is the hammerlock flatliner. Looked really good. 1, 2, 3.
Right, which is a little different because he did hammerlock DDT. I could have swore is what his
he did more of a hammerlock even flow DDT. Where it's more of a slam type thing. And this
it's kind of like
DDT,
kind of like Tay Conti's DDT. It's kind of more similar to that.
Yes,
before.
Exactly. I think that's probably why he did the variation.
Right. I think it looks better. I mean, honestly,
I kind of I like the flatliner. I've always liked the flatliner.
It's a good move. It's a good looking
#,
move. You can pull it off it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So after the match, Andrade locks in an inverted armbar with his belt, which I thought was good. And then
playing the heel, cool, whatever. It was a good debut. Sydal's a great person to do it with because he can take, and it was a good start.
Yep. So then they do a quick video on Christian Cage and Matt Hardy. It was actually pretty good. I don't want to admit it, but it was good. I'm looking forward to this match because it's nostalgia for me. And, Christian Cage is actually doing the right thing. So he's starting to get some points.
This is where he should be. Yes.
All right. Are you ready?
I am so damn ready. I am so amped.
I hope all of our listeners are ready for this.
And if any of you haven't watched, if anybody's listening is didn't watch it last night and is getting your update from us, just put your coffee down because this is going to be a thing. This is going to be great.
So Tony Schiavone is yet in the ring again, and he even makes fun of himself for saying I've been in here a lot tonight.
Right.
And he goes right to Arn Anderson, talking about how Arn, like his son Brock, got to win, whatever. And then he's like, Arn goes,
It's
"We
all
missed
fan
y'all.
service, blah blah blah.
We missed
Right.
all y'all. Lights go out."
Which is they did a wonderful thing. So earlier on at the very beginning of the show in the first match, the lights flickered for a second, and they said and they covered up real good. I thought I kayfabed, I bought into it 100%. So I'm like, they said, no, we've been having some power issues. There has been a storm moving through Florida, guys. That happened all day, whatever. So they went out this time and they called that back again. Okay, good.
Yeah, because Excalibur's like, "Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks," and like they called it out, everything like that.
They laid the groundwork. This is so good.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. I'm sorry. Go.
Yes. Then the lights come on, and who's standing in the corner? Tommy
fucking
End is standing there.
Oh!
And then he's got like some dark makeup on his eye, and then he has the one contact in still.
white eye.
So he's still calling out the fact that he got his eye hurt in WWE, keeping the storyline going.
This is one of the best storytellers in wrestling, period.
Yeah.
And here's what's you finish this up, and then I'll kind of piggyback it. Go. Sorry.
Okay, so he's there. He just
We're really
looks pissed.
amped, guys. I'm sorry.
He looks pissed, and as soon as the crowd sees him, it was deafening. Like, there was not just like 25,000 people there. There's like 80,000 people going, "Oh!" Like, it was just awesome.
Unbelievable.
Black mass just like that on Arn Anderson, like instantly black mass. And then here comes Cody. Him and Cody are looking at each other, and then he's kind of like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. You check your friend." And black mass on him. It's a black mass. And then he gets
So
out of the
good.
ring, and he's backing up, and he's just looking all pissed, and the crowd's going nuts. And then you saw it. He cracked a big old smile, like, "Man, this is it."
This is what I'm here. This is what's good in wrestling.
Yes.
Now he earlier in the day today, and this is one of the bits I was going to talk about tonight, actually, one of the news bits, because it's interesting because on his Instagram, which is still called Tommy End, by the way, he put this like very highly produced, like almost like a short movie clip, a short movie thing that he made with some people, whatever, introducing a character called Malachi Black.
Yes, Malachi Black.
Not Alistair, Malachi Black. And so, and it's a really cool movie. It's like a suspenseful demonic possession, whatever thing, but anyway, so they called him Tommy End, and Excalibur's like, I've known him. I have wrestled against him back when Excalibur wrestled, as Tommy End, but that's not Tommy End. That is somebody else. He's saying there's an alter personality. Yeah. And this is where the art of storytelling is told by Aleister Black or Tommy End or Malachi. Ooh, this guy, Tom.
Yeah.
Just call him Tom. This is where Tom's, art of storytelling really comes through, because he dropped this earlier today, and sure as shit, boom, there tonight as his, I guess, Malachi Black variant of his character. I don't know. I don't care. This is great.
Yeah. So obviously the 90-day no compete didn't exist for him.
Well, we mentioned that
talked about
before.
that. Yeah.
And sorry, Zelina Vega debuted last. His wife, for those of you who living on a rock, debuted back in it. Do you think maybe that was part of her discussions, her negotiations for coming back? Hey, why don't you let my husband out of that 90-day no compete, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, so we've nerded out
cool.
about this, but the thing, I kind of felt like something was up. We all thought he was going to go AEW, but earlier today as well was that video was on his Instagram, his Twitter, and Jericho shared it on his Twitter, just directly on his Twitter, not as a retweet, and on his Facebook. So I'm like,
that's
interesting.
Little tipping of the hat there, Jericho. Gotta watch yourself.
I know, but I thought that was very interesting and
fantastic, man.
Tommy
End
is
we
all
figured
elite,
this
baby.
is where it's gonna be, and so we're gonna get to see Tommy and Cody. Obviously, it looks like they're gonna initially square off, but the possibilities: Tommy End versus Kenny Omega. Tommy End versus Lance Archer, Tommy End versus Andrade again, which
Oh,
Their
yes.
feud was legendary.
Tommy
And they're
versus
they're
Miro.
like good buddies. They're like really good
Yeah.
buddies in real life too, which is great.
Well, yeah, and then both of them are really good friends with Miro.
Oh yeah. This show didn't even have Miro, and it still was this good. By the way,
Yeah, Miro wouldn't. Yeah, the Redeemer, God's favorite champion, wasn't even on the show.
It wasn't even on. Doesn't even have a vignette, and it still was. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the possibilities are endless, and I'm so ready for it. Oh.
Yeah, so then we had another quick little promo with Ricky Starks. Who cares? Moving quickly and swiftly on that because it was terrible.
He came out. I guess because they filmed a dark match before, and he came out and talked about Brian Cage's wife. And okay, sure, yeah,
whatever.
We all know.
Then we had the Blade and the Bunny come out, and then versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander coming out to "Where's My Mind" by the Pixies. Make sure I want to get that out there.
Yeah, throw it every time. I know.
It's the greatest entrance song of all time. I even put that on our Twitter. Sorry, I like it's my favorite. Like I think it just fits in perfect. Well, unless Ruby Soho does in fact come out to Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho
it will change. Yeah,
she's going by Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby, she has to come out. Which I'm hoping to see her. No, I was going to work her in. Don't worry. There's no way JJ doesn't work Ruby into every show because I got to get my shout out there. One day she's going to tweet back at me, "Hey JJ," and that's it. That's my end game for those of you wondering. I know there's no other. I'm not delusions of grandeur here. I just want her to shout me out, "Hey JJ," because that's the type of payoff you work for.
Yes, that's what we call long-term booking, people.
That's this guy's long-term booking. That's it.
All right. So this match was actually very good. I've been saying this that Chris Statlander has looked really good since she's came back. Yes. I've officially gone full on. I'm in love with her character. I'm in love with what she's doing. She is amazing. Yes. Chris Statlander's number one for me now.
I'm with you in that boat.
Cause damn, she hit the Area 451 splash on the Blade, and it was a thing of beauty, perfection. She hit it exactly right. Like
she didn't have the herky jerkiness of her initial run pre-injury.
Yeah, she just looks so damn good.
The bunny's much better than people give her credit for too.
Yeah,
and so
she two looks of them a lot better this round too.
The two of them were able to put together good bits there. This is the only women's wrestling of the night, by the way. That's unfortunate, but still, it was good in what it was. And if you follow Statlander pre-AEW, she's done a lot of intergender matches, so
yeah, because she's a big woman, man. She's like almost 6 foot, and she's like 180. I mean, like she's not huge, but like she's built and like she's
if you follow her on social media, she has like she's going out with her boyfriend is Caleb with a K from Impact, who's Tino Dashwood's yeah. So they in their house, they have their garage converted to a gym, and so she's always putting workout videos in there, and she's putting the work in. It's like it's not out of nowhere. She's definitely working her ass off, and it shows. She looks great. I see her as a definite stable worth of the women's division in the future here.
Oh, totally agree.
She kind of has an ODB-esque vibe almost to me. And ODB was in her prime. You know?
Just not as over the top.
Right, but the fact that she's a little bit of a different type of character, I think that's where I'm coming from.
Oh, okay. I get it then. Yeah, I totally get the relation.
Right, she's kind of more of the stronger style woman. So
yeah, that's where
I'm thinking that.
Yeah. So this match definitely was more highlighting those two of Bunny and Chris Statlander more than it was Orange Cassidy and Blade, which I really appreciated because it was the only women's match. So I think they made a conscious effort to make sure that those two are the big ones in there. Like there was a moment where Orange Cassidy got hit with brass knucks again, and that's when Chris Statlander tagged herself in, and then she and Blade were face to face, and the crowd was just getting a ruckus, like, let's make this shit happen, intergender matches, let's go. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, like, she was able to do that, and then she got the win. She hit the Big Bang Theory on the Bunny. 1, 2, 3, Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander win, but it's one of those beautiful things, though. Like, the crowd is so invested in Orange Cassidy and her together. They make a great pair. I love their dynamic, and I think she's gonna be a champion sometime soon.
I do. Before that happens, I hope that Tony buys her Intergalactic by Beastie Boys.
Yes, so she has her own. Yes. Let's make that happen, Tony.
Please,
TK,
Tony.
TK. She makes you millions. TK. That was said by the DMD. Anyway, so after that, then I thought this was actually kind of a fun moment. It was Jorge Masvidal. He talked, and Amanda Nunes and Dan Lambert were ringside. They're from America's Top Team, and Dan Lambert cut a really good promo.
He's been all over my newsfeed today. Did you see the thing that he said about for the University of Miami? So I read a story. This is weird foreshadowing. So I read a story this morning when I logged in, during one of my breaks to check on ESPN, right? So I'm checking the headlines for the day, right? Yeah. And all this stuff about the NIL, right, for college athletes, name, image, and likeness. And he owns this string of MMA gyms, and he's a giant Miami booster, right?
Yeah.
So he has thrown out there that at least for this year, he wants to offer every single player on the University of Miami football team $500 a week, to be spokesperson for his gym. So he's basically, because that's what the NIL does. You can make money off your like this. You can promote local businesses. You can promote whatever. You make your own brand and sell T-shirts and shit. Right.
That's awesome.
So
they finally.
And I think that's cool. It's cool. So I literally read that, which is like which is like a lot of money, So anyway, I read that earlier today, and then literally not even 6 hours later, here he is on TV on AEW cutting a promo from hell. It's like, oh my god, this guy is fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and his promo was great, saying he thought AEW sucks, and he's a 70s, 80s guy. He cut the most Jim Cornette promo that I've heard since Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
He was playing Jim Cornette.
It somehow wasn't as douchey as Jim Cornette also.
Yeah. He was talking about how Tony Khan says, no, we're different. You should come see us. And, hopefully at the end you'll be with the fans chanting AEW. And, of course, when he said that, the entire place started chanting AEW, which I thought was great. Yeah. And then he said, well, I should have stuck with my first thought. AEW sucks. And here comes Lance Archer. Lance Archer just bitch slaps him once. And then he hits him with the blackout.
He took the bump. He took it. I mean, the guy owns some MMA stuff, so he's not. But still, that was great. He took the bump, and I love that.
So that was a fun moment. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally at the main event of the evening. Can we just agree that this is maybe a top 10 AEW Dynamite match?
It may be. I don't want to overreact because we literally just watched it.
Maybe. That's why I said maybe.
It might be up there because this thing, and I was not expecting it to be this. This is okay. All the matches tonight, I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they were. Really, like the Cody match,
Yeah, because
Andrade, I thought I was going to squash, and he didn't squash. This match here, I was like, this is going to be whatever. But no, they were all fantastic. This match, oh my God, this match.
So, is Pentagon Jr. or Penta El Zero Miedo is what they call him on here, and Eddie Kingston versus the Young Bucks. So, Penta is still in his Joker garb, which I appreciate the hell out of. I think it works very well with him and Eddie Kingston. I love that dynamic. And then here come out the Young Bucks, now clean shaven Young Bucks, other than some chops.
Throwback to BTE because they said the mustaches were the reason they lost last week.
Yes. And they were rocking jorts, man.
Jorts. They're danglies, like Nick's danglies had cigarettes in them.
Yes. like
dangly earrings.
At first, okay, so I'm just gonna be honest. At first, when they turned heel, I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then now I'm like, this is comedic gold, and they are amazing. And
it's the father. It started with the Dior ones, and then matching their outfit to the Dior ones.
Yes.
And then they did other Jordans and matched them to that, and then now they're just going all. It's great.
They don't care. It's so great.
I know.
Matt Jackson had a bandana tied right here, Tupac style. And, oh Jesus! It was just.
It was mocking Eddie, and
so this match had moves galore.
This was a street match, by the way. This is a street fight.
Total street fight, so everything goes. This is a total spot fest in all reality. It had everything you'd ever want. It had Matt Jackson taking a Canadian Destroyer through a table on the outside of the ring. It had
5 minutes into the match.
5 minutes in the match. It had Nick Jackson taking a what's up double like the drop kick style that Penta does onto a steel
With a
chair. Yeah. So you got that. Then you have Michael Nakazawa take a double super kick. Like it had that.
You had
It
tables
had-
left and right. You had trash cans. You had the streamers that never cleaned up, so they were in the way the whole time.
Which I
and
thought
that
was
added
great.
to it. That was
Yes.
great.
And then you had Frankie Kazarian coming out, and he threw their young boy. I can't
Brand
think of
Cutler.
his name.
Brand Cutler.
Brand Cutler threw a table. It had everything. The Good Brothers come out. They hit a Magic Killer on Frankie Kazarian. Oh my goodness! Then here comes Thumbtacks, which I know
Thumbtacks.
makes, and it had probably the most unusual way of using thumbtacks, especially with a live crowd, because it made me a little nervous.
I have seen, and you know me. My Thumbtacks to me, Thumbtacks are my lion tamer. Like
Yes.
I get so amped when I see Thumbtacks. It's like it's damn near stiffy level of excitement I get because I'm just like yes, but I've never seen them do this. I can't remember this being done in a match.
Yeah. So there was a spot where Eddie Kingston is getting ready to put Nick Jackson through. He's going to
He's gonna throw a table.
Yeah,
or
well, he's going
something,
to superplex him onto the thumbtacks.
Oh, that's what it was, yeah.
When that happens, Matt grabs a handful of them and throws them
Just
into
fucking throws them.
Eddie Kingston's face, which some hit the crowd because he saw the crowd just go like, "What the hell?" Like thumbtacks were flying everywhere, which
I've
made me
never
nervous.
seen somebody just grab a handful of Thumbtacks and throw them just like you're grabbing a handful of ice, from an ice machine and just going to town.
Yeah, which got him all messed up. So then they start attacking him, and then to top it off, Matt grabs another handful, shoves it in Eddie Kingston's mouth, and then they do a double super kick on his face, and he spits
Yeah, which I've
him
seen
out
that
everywhere.
before. I have seen
Yes.
that before. Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3, still your champions are the Young Bucks. And like I didn't even talk about the 450 onto the ref when clearly Eddie Kingston and Penta had the win. Like this match had everything. It's easily a 4-star, if not like a 4 1/4. Like it was that good.
Mm-hmm. If I was to be on the spot, I'd give it 4, just because I'm more conservative with my rankings.
I know.
And I think it's a 4 for sure. I don't know if it gets that much farther above it personally for me, even though it had Thumbtacks and Canadian Destroyers and all the stuff. It was highly entertaining. It was a kind of a cacophony of stuff though, and it was lots of flippy spinny shit. Lots of tables being broken. Shit, I mean, Eddie Kingston took a table in the ring, then ripped off the whole outer ring, and then broke the legs on it. And you're like, what the hell is he doing? And then he goes to the suplex, and you're like, oh, he basically made 2 giant shivs on a cardboard in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And then
good.
when he got powerbombed right by it too.
It was like a foot away at most, And then they eventually used it for intended purposes, which put it in the corner and throw somebody through it. But it was great. And this whole show just felt it had just a little bit of everything. AEW. You had the surprise entrant. You had the big, like gimmick match at the end, right? But you also had superb wrestling. Crazy spots. Loved it. It's a great show.
Total spot fest for me. I'm giving it a total spot fest. I can't go less than that. I feel like what they did and with the fans, the first time with fans, I think that's what it is too. It's like
I think
fans,
that's a good.
that's
point.
what gets me. It's a total spot fest.
Oof. Okay, I'll give it total spot fest too. Then I was on the fence. I'm on the fence because it's like I've seen better total shows, but I think this once again it's kind of like Double or Nothing. It's like the fans do matter, And this is the first we got. So now AEW's back on the road full time, right? WWE is going to go back on the road soon. NXT is supposed to have like a North Florida loop where maybe they're going to do live shows. I don't know. Impact is starting to tape shows next week after Slammiversary with a live. Fans are back at wrestling. So this is the first of it for real. Not just a pay-per-view, not just WrestleMania, not just Double or Nothing. In that, they did everything they needed to do. There was really no big misses. There's a couple of little promos that, whatever, but all in all, gotta give Total Spot Fest. It was
beautiful.
wunderbar. You know what wasn't wonderful? You know what was not wunderbar? I know we do this on Tuesdays, but I just had to bring it up tonight.
Uh-oh.
The ratings this past week from WWE are laughably terrible, and I just got to talk about them. So it turns out that we were actually a little bit off. The overnight ratings were a little bit low as to the final numbers for SmackDown this past Friday. 1.861 million viewers, which is the second lowest since they've been on Fox. Speaking of lowest, let's talk about WWE Raw. Because they had their lowest viewership since 1993.
Wow.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
that
older
is
than some of our listeners.
The Monday Night Wars. Yes.
Wow.
That is before the Monday Night Wars. 1.472 million viewers.
That's shameful.
That is shameful, especially with what they had. And their main event was Lashley and MVP versus the New Day. It's an embarrassment for what it is. Now, what's not? Yeah, I know. We usually we'll rehash that again on Tuesday in more detail. But what's not an embarrassment WWE wise is NXT. And I know not everybody's the biggest fan of NXT. I get it. We talked about this last week, week before, that they kind of go in these waves, right? Where they're kind of reloading, and it's I feel like that's where we're at now. Maybe that's why some people are kind of whatever. Plus, I don't know. But this past Tuesday was NXT's Great American Bash, and this was freaking excellent.
100%.
Go watch it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Trust me, it's good. It starts off with tag team. They had 4 matches, 3 of them for titles. Okay, so you had a tag team title match to start. MSK versus Ciampa and Thatcher. And I'm like, I could give a shit, right? Who cares?
Right.
Ciampa and Thatcher.
That's
No, this match was a fucking spot fest. I mean, first of all, Wesley, who one of the guys from MSK. Okay, he is not human. Just saying it right now. He did a variant where he did he did this he started off in the corner and he did a backflip. He did like a running backflip, which ended up with him getting super kicked while he was upside down by Ciampa. Ciampa was in rare form, old school form. He had all his stuff going. It was all in all a wonderful match that I didn't expect to be nearly as good as it was.
100% agree.
Wesley did a 619 around a ring pole.
That's amazing.
He put a dude in the corner, and then on the apron, kind of used I was like, how do you even do? Yeah. So anyway, at the end of the day, MSK ended up getting the win, got the respect from Ciampa and Thatcher. I'm ready for them to kind of go their separate ways. Whatever. I'm not a big Thatcher fan. I want to see Ciampa back in the main event picture. I really
same.
Okay.
It's time,
especially with who we're considering to be in the main event. Because there's talk about Karrion Kross being pulled up and Bronson Reed being pulled up. So, anyway, battery promo is up to 91%. We'll find out about that in just a little bit here. Don't you smile. I know you're smiling.
I'm just like, hey,
All right.
I'm just waiting
Samoa
for the next
Joe
thing.
and William Regal were next.
Yes.
They were in the ring.
Yeah.
They cut a quick little promo. Called Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano. Title match next week with Samoa Joe as the special guest referee. Mm-hmm.
Everything will be fine as long as you don't provoke him.
Yep. Which means somebody's going to hit him, and they're going to get. I bet you this is. So since we're going at this here, I'm going to try and see if I can't get into your realm, Mark Stradamus. Okay. I think that at some point, Karrion's going to hit Joe. That'll cause Joe to choke his ass out, put him to sleep. Johnny come in, steal the title. 1, 2, 3 win. That's how you get the belt off Karrion for his exit to the main roster. That's my prediction.
I don't think it'll be this week though.
Well, anyway, we'll see what happens. But there's a title match next Tuesday on NXT between those two. Then you had the $1 Million Championship stipulation match between LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. And if Cameron Grimes lost, he would have to become LA Knight's butler. Now, this was a fan-frickin-tastic match. I know you've harped on Cameron Grimes forever, but my God, can these two put a wrestling match together?
100%.
Even got like that little like modified Spanish fly. He does that standing. It's not a full standing Spanish fly, but he does that kind of modified standing Spanish fly. Even that got a retweet and a lots of praise from one Shawn Michaels. FYI, I'm just throwing that at you.
He must have been the producer for it.
He very well could have been. He's been involved. But these two put on a hell of a match, and they had spots all over the place. This was a great match. In the end, Cameron, LA Knight, who is just like his facial mannerisms and everything, it's so wonderful. He goes out to get the belt, and then he comes back in the ring and he tells the ref, because there's people in the crowd. There's like 150 or whatever people there, but it's not super crowded. So he gets back in the ring. It's kind of trying to hide the belt, and he goes, "There's some stuff over there. Look over there's stuff on the outside of the ring." He tells the ref that to try to get him to look away so he can use the belt. And then the ref turns around real fast. He goes, "No." He goes, "What? No, I know what you're talking about. What? No." He's holding the belt in his hands, and LA Knight is. I'm sorry, if you can't appreciate the heelness wonder that is LA Knight. I don't know if we should be friends, but anyway, in the end, he does a DDT on the outside onto the belt. Kind of puts the belt under the ring, rolls him in, does his finisher. LA Knight gets the victory. Cameron Grimes is now your LA Knight butler, and I cannot wait for these promos. These are going to be comedic gold.
They are going to be absolutely amazing. And what's even more amazing? Jamie doesn't have to have a freaking Cameron Grimes shirt still, baby.
Yet. You say still. I say yet. My prediction was that I didn't think he was going to drop it this soon. I think for the next takeover, whenever that is, next big takeover they do with an actual crowd, fans, that's when they're going to give him. Because Cameron Grimes is over as shit. People do love him. Not just me. People love him. Sorry, Jamie. But one day, we're going to get you in a Cameron Grimes shirt. It's going to be fantastic.
Nope.
All right, so then you had the introduction of the NXT Breakout Tournament competitors. A couple of them we've already seen wrestle. We also got to meet that one guy I made mention of, the dude who's got apparently was working backstage. He's 6'5", 405, just massive a man. It's like Viceroy Jones or whatever the hell his name was. I don't remember, but
Viceroy.
Vincent Jones. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so we got to meet all of them. That starts next week, so we get some more new blood. So this is a reloading period for NXT. More new blood. Cool. Next title match you had was the final title match tonight, I should say, because this is the third one. There's only 4 matches, like I said. Was the women's tag title match. It was The Way, Indy Hartwell, and Candice LeRae defending against Zoe Stark and Io Shirai. I still gonna say I think Io Shirai should be with Sarray, but I digress. This was probably, of the 4 matches, this is probably the one I would put at number 4, but it was still an excellent match.
Yeah.
These 4 worked together really well. There was great tension whenever, and Candice sold it wonderfully, trying to avoid Io at all costs, right? Mm-hmm. But when they finally did square off, the tension in the ring, that was built up really good. Indy had some great spots. At one point, you had Candice did the Gargano escape on Io, and Indy goes over and kind of intersects Zoe Stark and does Dexter Loomis's finisher, the silencer, on her. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah, I did.
But I'm like, oh, put a pin in that. I'll be back to that in a second. So, so you get near the end of the match and a blackout. And then you get the battery promo again, up to 100. And like Jamie, our very own Mark Stradamus, predicted 3 weeks ago, Tegan Knox is the battery. She's back. She's back. She's looking good. Still got the big old brace now. Third day. I hope to God, please God, no more knee injuries for Tegan Knox. I want to see her like do a sustained run for God's sake.
Yeah.
But she's back. Causes a distraction, which leads to Io kind of, drop kicking Indy into Candice. Candice goes out of the ring. Zoe's a legal competitor. She does her finisher move, that spinning go to sleep kick thing, whatever. They gave it a name. I can't remember what it was. She does that on Indy, gets the win, and Io and Zoe are your tag team champions. So
and new. That's surprising, honestly.
It was. That's surprising for Io. I expect them to put a belt on Io. Mm-hmm. But Zoe, I mean, give her some credit. Girl came from fresh, brand spanking new to champion in very short order. So
she's been in the main event like pretty much since day one. Like she just wanted to prove herself, and she got over with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves her attitude. The fans have responded wonderfully to her. She got a good look. She got a good, move set she can take.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Now
she's a worker. A worker.
A worker.
You're a worker.
So they go to the commercial, and when they come back, before they get into the next segment, they show that during the commercial break, Indy, who was kind of left in the ring there, she's kind of sitting on the apron, and here comes one Mr. Dexter Loomis, and he picks her up and carries her off. Index is still a thing. Yes,
it's back in the line,
there.
baby. Oh, it makes my heart happy.
So
I love
Beth
Index so much.
I know. Yeah, Beth Phoenix does too. She was gushing with love. Then you had Hippo's celebration. It was their North American Cypher celebration. Mm-hmm. I didn't no idea what the hell that meant. I'm a punk metal guy, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that? It's a rap thing. So they all got out there and they rapped. I didn't know Swerve. I knew Swerve did rap. That's why he because the other three, they actually do have the album because they have produced it. They said that's kind of why if they were going to bring someone in, they wanted to make sure that they weren't just a guy, that they actually fit the bill and kind of had a good vibe, which Swerve does. I didn't know Swerve could rap as good as he could. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. He's got a good flow.
Really good.
Yeah, I liked his flow a lot.
I was like, holy shit. So they rapped for quite a bit. I mean, this is very hot. This is a money maker for them. Let's be honest. This is a money maker for NXT. They need to be promoting them more with the correct logo. Please fix your goddamn typeface. It drives me crazy. It just drives. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna tweet it out to them, and I'm gonna creep. I'm just sorry. It's like the OCD in me. Like my high school journalism teacher would just read me alive if I tried to make typeface like that. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, rant over. Main event on, and
yes,
the main event, much like AEW, well deserved to be your main event.
Ooh, it had everything.
It had Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. Actual wrestling match, like legit. There was no funny business. Nobody else came out. There was no, there's no foreign objects used. And people can say what they want about Cole with Undisputed Era, and yes, they came out and kind of helped him win quite a bit. But most of the big matches he had was all him, always.
Oh yeah.
And goddamn, this match was very much more of that. So these two went at each other. All the moves, all the spots, they know each other so well, so it flowed wonderfully. You could talk about this ad nauseum, but it's pretty much what you expect from this. It was excellent, and Adam Cole ended up getting the win. Because I thought about near the end there, and I'm like, okay, either Cole's going to win, he's going to move on from this into the top title picture here, or O'Reilly wins, and that signals to me that Cole's going up somewhere, and we get fucking cool Kyle as top guy.
But he hasn't been doing the cool Kyle thing lately, if you haven't noticed. Like he's already kind of
I noticed they've been scaling it back a lot, so
yeah.
I don't know if that's intentional. I hope to God that you're right there. Okay, so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I think this is good, I think, for them as well, because while they're in this rebuild phase, they still have people who want to stay there, right? Cole said explicitly he wants to stay there. He said, so say for instance, because we know Karen Cross is going to be on Raw or SmackDown before the year's over. We know that.
Oh, for sure.
Before the summer's over, probably.
Yeah, by SummerSlam.
So I think you got Gargano, Adam Cole, break up Thatcher, and Ciampa. Got Ciampa back in that picture.
Oh, those three again. Yeah,
You can intertwine, and you have Pete Dunne that's been mixed in with that. You have Kyle O'Reilly, who's shown that he can put up as a singles guy. I think your top line is good. I think your top line is wonderful with them right there.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. That was Great American Bash. So I thought it was wonderful. I'm gonna give it a spot fest.
Same.
I think that it was only 4 matches. There's a lot. It was a regular TV. This wasn't a pay-per-view, even though it kind of was. The matches were pay-per-view quality, I think. But you had 4 of them. It felt like it could have been more, but what we got was unbelievable. So,
and to the point of AEW on this is the fans were a difference, and they still
Absolutely.
have like 100 fans or 200 fans now.
yeah, 100, 150, something like that.
And you could hear them kinda, but it wasn't the same. Like that
wasn't.
makes a difference because those matches in front of a real crowd and Tegan Knox coming back, the place would have erupted.
That should have been huge pops, and the spots and everything that was going on in the last match. You should have got. It was good to have the fans there, any fans there. Period. Right. They really do, and they need to do this before. They were saying this during the Monday Night Wars pre-pandemic, is we need to get out of Folsom. We need to get into an actual arena. Like, they can do smaller arenas, like 7,000, 10,000 seat arenas. That's what they really need. Because they need to have. I think that their product it's always so much better when you watch TakeOver, and you get to see all that pop because of what they do. It's not any different than what they do on a weekly basis, really. You just get to feel it more. So I'm with you there. Well, we'll see what happens. They're supposed to be doing this whole North Florida circuit and then maybe touring. I don't know.
I think it was such a good show. I think a WWE superstar needs to go get completely drunk and get pulled over. I think that's what it needs.
I mean, that did happen. Yay! Oh my God!
Little segue.
Freaking oos! God.
This
Well,
is
the funny thing is, nothing's gonna
third
happen
time he's
to
been
him.
arrested. Yeah.
I know. Apparently, everybody's super mad at him. I'm like, you're not gonna do shit. He's in your number one storyline. You're really your only storyline on SmackDown, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So hashtag Jimmy Uso got arrested again, ladies and gentlemen, for drunk driving again. So it's his second DUI, and then he also got another one time when they got his wife out of the car. So this is arrest number 3 for him.
Yeah,
so he's doing great.
Weird. Yeah, it's like okay. Yeah, it was funny because the only little bit I read about it is he had a .208. Which, for those of you who maybe aren't drinkers, don't know, not partiers, that's significant. Okay. And he told the cop he had a few beers. I'm like, no, you didn't have a few beers. That's not .208 character.
Yeah, because .08 is the legal limit.
Is the legal limit.
.208. Jeez.
I mean, as a beer drinker, I know. I got a buddy who's got the little blow test thing for his car, and he takes it out and brings it in for parties and stuff. And he does it for good purposes because he's like, hey, if you've been drinking too, and you got to blow before you leave, And I remember I had I was up there for 4 or 5 hours, right? I probably had 7 or 8 beers, and he goes, blow. I blow, .06, right?
Nice.
Well under the limit, So
Yeah.
having a couple beers, you did not, Jimmy. That's okay. But don't drive anymore.
unless
Come
they're
on, don't drive. Get
a couple
fucking cab.
22
Seriously.
ouncer or the 32 ounces of
right in the past 5 minutes.
15% alcohol.
Anyway, that's what we got for AEW, for NXT for the week. Fantastic week of shows. We got some more stuff coming up here, but we got one more thing we want to talk about. Jamie?
Yes. So
we've been on this kick lately, and we're going to keep it going.
yeah, I'm really enjoying this day in wrestling history a lot. So is actually technically yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. So yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the formation of the New World Order. This is the moment that Hulk Hogan came out to Bash at the Beach and turned heel.
Right. He left Macho Man hanging.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
then,
changed the landscape of wrestling forever. This moment 25 years ago today.
Right.
That's insane.
I mean, I can't believe it's been 25 years.
I know. I remember the day. I was a kid. I watched it. Like I watched the Monday after because obviously, you know, I wasn't getting pay-per-views when I was a kid because, you know, my parents didn't do that for me. But, you know, I mean, I made them on a couple of them. But, yeah, this shocked the hell out of me because when they said it and then they did the interview on that Monday saying this is a new world order, brother. It's just like, whoa.
We'll talk about the New World Order for a second here, but to your point, this is very much a seminal moment. Yes, the Monday Night Wars wouldn't have been what they were without this. Wrestling today wouldn't have been what it been without this. WCW wouldn't have really had the pop that it or the shot it had at WWE if it wasn't for this, because this was so different from anything we'd seen in wrestling in its entirety. Like I talk about the, you know, seminal moments, right? I talked about those quite a bit. You know, you think about, you know, Hogan slamming, you know, Andre the Giant's one of those, right? It's one of those things that unbelievable. You know, and then you had, you know, the Shawn Michaels turning on Mario Jannetty and the Rockers at the Brutus Beefcake barbershop, right? Because we'd never seen that before. Not that violent, not in that manner, right? The original War Games. Like, what the fuck is this monstrosity? Oh my God, right? This was it. Hulk Hogan, the biggest wrestler, arguably, in the world. I mean, I was more of a Ric Flair person myself, but I was still a Hulkamaniac as well. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because I grew up in the 80s. I had to be, you know? That's what you were exposed to. But the biggest wrestler of all time, turning heel. Unthinkable. And the way they did it, this guerrilla faction that became out of it, with a part of the management of the company involved, it was just like, I can't even believe this is real life, right? It was unbelievable.
It changed everything. Like the NWO changed everything.
Everything. Yeah.
They are legit the greatest faction ever. And it started with the Outsiders, Hall and Nash, and Hulk Hollywood Hogan. And it just, like, I had a regular NWO shirt. I had a Wolfpack NWO shirt. Then, I mean, the NWO did get a little crazy towards the end, but
It did, yeah.
but when it was in its peak, it was hot to trot. Like when they had Medusa throw away her women's championship, like, oh my God. Like it just was over the top. NWO had so many of the great people. Like when they got Scott Steiner to turn on his brother, like, man, the NWO.
The formation of Big Papa Pump and
yes,
you know, that
Big Bad
Conan
Booty
was
Daddy.
part of it originally. And you know, you think about, like, we mentioned this, and like I said, I was definitely a WCW guy, mostly in part to the NWO.
Yeah.
I had switched over basically. I had a couple years there where I got out of wrestling. It's, you know, you're that middle, you're that teen years, the preteen. He said, oh, wrestling's not cool anymore, or whatever, right? So I kind of but I got back into it real quickly, and I couldn't get into WWE's product anymore. Undertaker I knew, Shawn Michaels I recognized him, Bret Hart's still there. But other than that, it was just badness all over the place. And you had, trying to push over Lex Luger as like the next Hulk Hogan, and I'm like, no, the narcissist is not the next Hulk Hogan. And you had all these just comical ass characters, are terrible. And I turn over, and I see, first of all, I see the product. It exposed me to as well. Here's the thing. It brought me into a better understanding of the type of wrestling that I actually really do like. Because you had a lot of luchadors, and you had a lot of like the flippy spinny shit, like I say all the time, right? You had a lot of that on WCW, right?
Yep.
Young Jericho is one of the best things that ever has been, right? And he was
Jerichoholic.
He was given carte blanche. The move of 1,000 floors. He was given carte blanche because basically they were just running everything through Hogan, Nash, and Hall, and everybody else in the show was like, well, do whatever the hell you guys want. We'll give you airtime, sure, whatever. And so. Eddie Guerrero got to thrive on that, and all these cruiserweights you had that were just so good. But above beyond that, you really had it, because if you remember back in these days in the late '90s, we're talking like peak was probably '97 to '99, right? That's when that was really going, right?
Oh yeah.
That's when it really hit hard. You had these, and wrestling was huge. Wrestling was massive. Each show was getting 4 and 5 million views a week. It was just all over the place. Everywhere you turn, NWO shirts, Austin 316 shirts, more NWO shirts. I had NWO. I was an NWO all for lifer. And the storylines that they developed upon that before they got too bloated. Like the whole Sting thing. Sting's face paint exists the way it is because of the NWO. He became disenfranchised with WCW as a whole about the way he was being treated, the way they were letting these guys run through, and the way he was being forgotten, and turned away and went up to the rafters and became the Crow character. That's Sting is who we know of he is today because of all this stuff is because of this one moment. Really, it's a seminal moment in wrestling history. Oh.
Yeah. 25 years ago.
Fire, man.
25 years ago, the NWO formed. So I want to play just a small little quick game.
All right.
Of faction, like feud or fire.
Feud
But
or
we're going to do it this way. It's going to be member, feud, canceled. So either you're a member of it, you feud with them, or they never existed.
All right. So it's part of so 3
it's like FMK,
factions, and you have to either join them, fight with them, or get rid of them, Thanos them out of existence. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go off of arguably the biggest 3. Okay. We'll start with that.
I think I know partially where you're going with this, but
so
let's go.
NWO,
DX,
Generation X, and the Bullet Club.
Ooh. Because you can make the argument that there was the argument that D-Generation X was in response to NWO. That's not wrong. But they were different. The Bullet Club very much is an appreciation thereof NWO. Mm-hmm. The Bullet Club's the only one that exists today. Well, I'm in a faction. Oh shit. I'm a faction NWO. I'm gonna be a member of NWO. I mean, I just gave you bing. Let's do it one more time. Bing. I just gave you my love letter in a sonnet format, so I can't not be a member of NWO. Oh man, these fucking impossible games, And I'm gonna feud with. All right. I'm gonna feud with the Bullet Club, and then I'm gonna wipe out of existence D-Generation X. And here's why. Before everybody throws me under the fire, okay? I was definitely pro WCW. I was pro NWO, anti DX, anti WWE for a couple years there, right? Mm-hmm. That plays into my personal choice, but also when you think about it. DX was a very limited group of people in both of its runs. And everybody that was in that had their own individualized runs in different ways outside of DX. So you could still wipe DX out of existence, and it wouldn't affect Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chyna, maybe the New Age Outlaws a little bit. 6, he would have found something else.
Yeah, X-Pac for sure.
I still call him 6 because I'm an NWO guy.
Yeah,
but,
6-pack.
But yes, so that's what I would do. I would be a member of NWO. I would feud with the Bullet Club because the Bullet Club's still around. I still love the Bullet Club, and they've gone into this like multi-headed monster of a thing that's completely different. It's not just a copy of the old school, like Aces and Eights. That shit that was a copy, but this was not. All right, what about you?
I think I would definitely be a member of the Wolfpack version of the NWO, so NWO.
Okay.
So definitely a member of that. I would feud with the Bullet Club as well. And I would just wipe out DX, even though I have an absolute love for Shawn Michaels. He's the greatest wrestler of all time, but he didn't.
You're
need
underselling that, but yes.
Yes. He is. I mean,
No, you're underselling your love for him, is what I'm saying. But
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like no. He's the greatest wrestler that's ever walked the face of this earth. Plain and simple, in my opinion. And you could tell me I'm wrong, but you'd be wrong. You know, like I love me some Flair and I love everybody else, but yeah, he didn't need he didn't need DX. Triple H didn't need it because he had Stephanie, so you know it's all good. You know, but I mean the other guys might have, but to your point, exactly, like that is the one that we could get away with not having. So my question then is to our listeners, what's your order? Like, who out of those? Who would you be a faction with? Who would you feud with? And who would you fire? Like, it would never be in existence. Like, you cancel them. So, tweet at us. Put it in the comments on YouTube here. Let us know what you think. Who would you be a part of? We're pro NWO. I mean,
we got the same answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thankful you didn't throw in the Four Horsemen. I thought you were going to do NWO, DX, and Four Horsemen. That's what I thought you were going to do.
Well, I mean,
I'm like,
a very small group as well.
Okay, that's true. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, you can extrapolate that out. Tell us what you want to do, and then give us some other ones. Like, you guys try us, throw something at us, give us 3 factions. I'm thinking you could go any level here. Like, you could do 3 terrible factions. That'd be a great game. Like aces and eights,
superheroes in training.
Super Trayman and the what was the male cheerleader bullshit that they had with Dolph Ziggler that was in
oh my god, yeah. No. Mean Street Posse.
Mean Street Posse. Okay, get rid of aces and eights. Okay, Mean Street Posse, superheroes in training, and the Spirit Squad. That's who they were.
Squad. Yes. Oh my
now
God.
there's an impossible choice. Holy shit! I gotta join one of those 3.
I'd rather be a superhero than a male cheerleader.
I invite that. You challenge us, throw something at us, and we'll if you do, we'll talk about it if we got time next time. So
absolutely.
Speaking of comments, our promotion or our giveaway, not promotion. Our giveaway is still going on through this coming Sunday. So if you want to get tickets to Journey Pro KC's upcoming show on the 30th of July, 78 weeks later, 2 free tickets are sitting out there with your name on it. It's very simple. Instructions will be down in the comment below here. Next Tuesday, we're going to release a winner. We're going to announce the winner. So you have until Sunday if you want to get in. Very simple. Go back on our YouTube channel, watch episode 43. That's where we announced this competition. On that video, give that video a like. Give us a subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment about what your favorite promo of all time is. Or just a promo in general. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just promo related. We will make that announcement. We will random number pick it on Monday, and then on our Tuesday morning show, when we release to the world, we'll be announcing the winner. And we'll let you guys know through YouTube. We'll message you through YouTube whomever is the winner. So that's how you enter. If you want 2 free tickets, if you live in the Kansas City area, or you want to come down to Kansas City on July 30th for an excellent night of local wrestling, you still got time. Goes through this Sunday.
And a minimum of 1 free drink of your choice, alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
I mean, you get a couple into me, and I start just going one of these things. So I mean, it's on. You know, let's just be honest.
It is a Friday night, so Jamie might actually do a shot this time.
Well, I don't want you too far out of there.
Well, because that usually starts my downhill stroke.
Right.
As soon as I get one of those in me.
It's usually the wedge in the door. I don't want to open that door all the way. So, all right.
It's like Frank
maybe we're in Chicago. We're going to talk a lot more about that next time too. So, thank you guys for listening. yes, give us a comment down below. If you want to get in on the contest, like I said, in YouTube, go to our YouTube channel. It's all the instructions are listed there in the description box. If you want to get in touch with us, you can definitely do it through Twitter at Total Spot Fest. And we will be back on Tuesday, talk about news and wrestling roundabout. Impact's coming up tonight, so this is the almost go home show. They still have one more because it's a week from this coming Saturday is Slammiversary, which we're gonna do a little something special for. We'll talk about that next week too. So be on the lookout for that. We'll get everything out to you, and we'll be back next Thursday to talk about Fyter Fest Night 1 in AEW. So thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate you being here as always. Jamie, take us home, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not down with Total Spot Fest, I got 4 words for you. We're NWO for life.
Nailed it. I thought you were going to go too sweet, but okay.
I decided.
Thanks, guys. Either or. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Peace.